Hello, buddy. Welcome back to the Tin Man Score channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and today I thought I'd get on here and film my ranking of all 19 live-action Batsuits. Before I continue with this video and before people start getting mad in the comments, I'm not including the Titans or Gotham Batsuits because, one, I did not watch the shows, but I did see what they look like. And two, I'm not including Michael Keaton's other Batsuits that were in the Flash movie that he did not wear on screen. I think I might do a separate video on those later. So starting off at number 19, which is going to be my least favorite, is going to be the 1943 serial Batman suit. Now, I know this was the first attempt of making a live-action Batsuit, but golly, the reason why it's so low on my list is because, one, the cape is too small for the actor playing Batman, and two, if you look very closely at the eyes, the eye holes are cut way too small and don't even look like it lines up with the actor's face, and the ears just look too pointy and bent out of shape. Almost looks like that cowl was picked up over at a party store. All right, coming in number 18 is the 49 Batsuit. It's a little bit of an upgrade from the first one I just showed you, but I do not know why the costume designers had to highlight the bat emblem on his chest, because, I mean, even if it was a highlighted, the criminals could still tell that it was a bat. And the cape and cowl was improved a little bit to where it will fit the actor's face a little bit better, but the ears on his cowl up here look more pointed, and it looks more like a devil's head. But if it helps strike fear into those criminals, knowing that it's Batman, it works for me. And if I wanted to cosplay as a classic Batman, I would definitely go with this one instead of the other one. All right, coming in at number 17 is Adam West's Batsuit from the 1966 through 68 TV show. I know there's a lot of people who are going to be hating me in the comments, be like, why is it so low on your list? Well, because it just looks too campy and silly for me. But at least in this era, costumers were able to get the suit looking more accurate to what you see in the comic books, except the emblem is way too low in the center of the chest on that bodysuit than being more closer up near the cowl. But other than that, it's not a bad looking classic Batsuit, but it just looks like he's wearing a skin-tight muscle suit or something that you might see a swimmer or diver wear. Okay, at number 16, George Clooney's Batman and Robin Ice Suit. Don't get me wrong, it's a cool design, but it's just too busy. Like, I don't know why on earth they put a lot of silver pieces on the suit when they could have just took the suit and painted all white or silver and then add like either gold or blue accent pieces on it, because then that would have made more sense. But no, since George Clooney's main Batsuit was blue and black, they had to keep the same color scheme but add all those silver pieces, and plus they were trying to sell toys too. I used to like it, but now I don't know, it's just not really my thing anymore when it comes to armored up looking Batsuits. All right, number 15 is the Batman Forever black suit. Don't get me wrong, it's still a cool design, but this is what I don't like about it. One, the bat nipples. I mean, like, come on. The bat suit does not need nipples on it. But also, it's too shiny of a black material. Because imagine he's fighting crime at night, and if somebody had a flashlight and saw it reflect off of this, I mean, like, that's not a good way to blend into the shadows, that's for sure. You could be spotted easily. That utility belt just looks too bulky, in my opinion, because I always wonder, how in the world does he get gadgets out of these little silver round things on the belt? Looks like it'd be hard to access. And number 14 is the standard suit from Justice League. It's not a bad look for Ben Affleck, but to be honest with you, I still like the BVS version. But apparently, the people that made the BVS suit won't credit it for Batman v Superman, so they quit before Justice League started up, and they had a studio in England make this suit. And also another thing, the cowl just looks way too tighter on Ben Affleck's face. Looks like a cat face, especially with those type of pointy ears on this thing. It don't look bat-ish enough for me. And also another thing, the bat suit itself was made out of a darker gray material than what the BVS suit was made from. But in some lighting shots, it almost made the suit look black. Either way, it's just terrible, in my opinion. Okay, coming in at number 13 is the standard Batman and Robin blue-black suit. I know to everybody it looks funny, but I thought this one was an improvement over Val Kilmer's standard black suit that he had. And it's way better than the ice suit that George Clooney wore in his film. But the only thing that kind of bugs me out about this one is why in the world do they make the bat emblem blend in with the suit? Unless they're really trying to go for a more stealthier approach. But golly, criminals and the police won't be able to see it. Like the bat emblem with the yellow circle in the background. Okay, coming in number 12 is the Nightmare Batsuit from Batman v Superman and also Zack Snyder's Justice League. I actually did the suit. I wished I put it higher on my list, but here's why it's at this spot. I really don't have nothing bad to say, but I don't have no bat wing cape. Instead of that, he's got his brown trench coat over his Batman v Superman batsuit. But it's cool they Swain added tactical army pants with knee pads with this get up. And apparently, in this alternate reality, he gave up his rule of using guns. And I thought that wasn't a bad looking suit for Batman. Kind of reminds me of a character out of Mad Max. Like if Batman survived the zombie apocalypse, I would see him definitely wearing a get-up like this. Okay, number 11 is Ben Affleck's blue and gray batsuit from The Flash. Now, I was glad to see Ben Affleck in a blue and gray batsuit finally, but I hated that the costume has the Justice League cowl on it still, and that thing still looks ridiculous on Ben Affleck's head. And in order to fix this suit, I would have designed it to where it would look similar to the tactical suit from Justice League, but replace this motocross honeycomb protective gear stuff, because that's ridiculous. Because you remember Christian Bale's batsuit from Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises didn't have all that crap on it. It was just more armor padding. So if they just went with a more armor padded look and got rid of this stupid spreading bat emblem thing, then it would have been cool on screen. Number 10 is the Batman Forever Sonar suit. Once Val Kilmer revealed this, I was like, yes, it looks way better than his standard black suit, and it's not as shiny as that one. It's got like a matte finish to it. So he will definitely blend in with the night in this one. And plus with the sonar lenses that roll down, he can see like a bat. And also the belt has a bat emblem that's in gold, which it would have been nice to see this bat symbol in gold as well to match. But I think it looks cool the way it is. Fun fact, Christian Bale used this bat suit from when he did a screen test for Batman Begins. They just sprayed it with a little black spray paint just to dull it down a little bit. And then number 9 is the Batman 2022 Batsuit. I thought it looked cool for how they designed it because it looks more utilitarian. And every part of his suit has a purpose. Like his gauntlets has extra spikes for his little miniguns underneath the wrist. And he has a gun on his side hip, but also his bat suit itself looks like it was constructed to look like a motocross suit. And it kind of reminds me of the bat suit in the Telltale game series. But also his bat emblem looks like it was constructed from pieces of gunmetal. And you can actually take it off and use it as a knife. And his cowl he made out of leather. I like how even in the comics and movies, those bat suits that he put together himself are like simple, but they're like his starting suit before he upgrades to something else. And plus, this thing looks more agile and easier to move in than all the black rubber suits. All right, coming in at number 8 is the 89 Batsuit. It's not actually a bad looking look for Batman. This is the first time we ever got the all-black suits for the live-action films going forward, but it looked way too bulky on Michael Keaton, especially in the cowl area. And plus, you can't see it real good on my camera, but this bat emblem has 2 extra tips towards the bottom because at the time they couldn't get the right from Warner Brothers to use the standard Batman logo. Again, it's not a bad looking suit, but it was just not my favorite out of the 2 Michael Keaton films. And I'll be darned, speaking of returns, that's the Batsuit I got number 7. Like I said, I like this one way better than the 89 one because that one looked way too bulky, while this one was more fitting to Michael Keaton's body, and the abs looked like they were sculpted to look more like a front end of a car or train, more machined out looking. I'm surprised they didn't make the utility belt different for this suit since they're using the same one from the 89 Batman suit, but it looks like they went with a different shade of yellow to tone it down a little bit. But man, if I had the money to get somebody to measure me for a custom Batman suit, I would definitely like to have one of these. Coming in at number 6 is the Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises Batsuit. When I was talking about Robert Pattinson's Batsuit earlier, that was the route that they should have went for Christian Bale's suit and designed his suit to have more flexibility. Of course, I get that because his Batman Begins suit was getting heavier. He wanted to be faster. Well, having a Batsuit that was basically made into pieces will give him that advantage. But he's more vulnerable to knives being poked into his skin in these crevices as well as gunshots. But I still like this Batsuit since I remember going to movie theaters and watching that film and seeing Lucius Fox show it off to him for the first time. And he pushed the trigger on the gauntlet blades to shoot off. I thought that was funny. I said, now that's an upgrade for sure. Number 5 is the Armored Batsuit from Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. I really like this thing because it does look like the Armored Batsuit from Batman Dark Knight Returns graphic novel, but that one had a more flat chest piece, while this one went with a more sleeker design to include armor around the abs. But just to see Batman take a beating from Superman in this thing was really cool, but I hated that it got destroyed towards the end of that fight. But of course, like I said, with some of the other Batsuits so far, if you don't add too much armor plating around the knees and elbows, then you wouldn't be so stiff and hard to move, and especially in something like this. And this is the first time we ever get to see a Batsuit with glowing white eyes, like you see in the comic books and cartoons. Number 4 is the Batman Begins Batsuit. I just like this one over the Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises one, because when Bruce Wayne was putting this suit together, he wanted something that was bulletproof, and Wayne Enterprises made it for soldiers, but it didn't get past the prototype phase. I just love that big black bat that's across the chest. Makes you wonder what he did with that suit after he got the upgraded one in Dark Knight. Okay, number 3 is Michael Keaton's Batsuit from The Flash. Like, when I heard that he was coming back as Batman, I was like, oh Lord, is he going to pull back the 89 or Batman Returns suit? But nope, he got an upgrade. Now, this is what the suit he probably would have had in Batman Forever. He decided to cast Val Kilmer instead, because this looks way better than his suit, in my opinion. Like, Michael Keaton's Batman went through more of a tinkering phase and added more armor plating in certain ab areas, and it looks more flexible than the first 2 he wore. And I'm glad that he switched out his yellow belt to a more stealthy black and silver looking one, and he could store miniature gadgets in them tubes. Number 2 is the Tactical Batsuit from Justice League. Once I saw Bruce Wayne put that suit on, I was like, oh yes, it looks way cooler than the standard one he wore in that film. but also paired it with those goggles. A lot of people said it made him look like Night Owl from Watchmen, but hey, it looks way cooler. If he wore something like this with the blue-gray color scheme for the Flash on that motorcycle he was driving, that would have been better. But it definitely looks more padded up to go after those parademons. And finally, my number one spot is Ben Affleck's Batman v Superman Standard Batsuit. I mean, come on. Once this was shown in the film, I was like, you can't get more comic accurate than that. Frank Miller's Batman suit design is way cool compared to some of the others I've seen. And plus, Ben Affleck's Batman is supposed to be more brutal and muscled up. He definitely looked like a serious crime fighter in this suit. But if I had the money, I would definitely get a replica of a Batsuit like this too for me to cosplay in. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy my ranking of those 19 Batsuits. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications for more DC related content like this. Let me know down in the comments, how would you rank these Batsuits? Or which one is your number one favorite? This has been another successful installment of the Tin Man Score channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and that's a wrap. And have a nice day, y'all.